Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Marco. So in this video, I want to talk about how I went from having 1K approvals, honestly, sometimes like $300 approvals, to like 10K approvals continuously and up. Okay, I should think my highest approval on the personal side is I think it's about like a 25K, or like 35K right now, which is pretty cool. Honestly, when I first started, I actually didn't even know like that was possible. In my head, I used to think of this in terms of someone's income, right? I remember when one of my first jobs that I had, I was a branch account executive for a financial institution, and so like I used to like lend money, right? So like that's what that's what I used to do prior. And the salary in that job, which I'm not hating on it, it was like $32,000 a year. And I'm looking at that now, like, wow, I have a credit card limit that on the personal side that is more than my salary that I used to have, right? So it's like mind blowing to see what can happen once we switch our mindsets in some of the things that have personally happened to me. And hopefully, as I share this, you guys get massive value and take action as well. Okay, so we can start and scale our businesses and honestly start living out the life that we want to live. Okay, all right. So I went from 1K approvals to 10K plus approvals right now. Okay, on a personal, here's a few things that I took a look at. Number one, I took a look at my current credit report. Okay, you have to see where you are right now in order to know where we want to go. All right, and number two, I made a plan. Okay, I made a plan like saying, dude, listen, if I can literally just get a $5,000 credit card, like, dude, I would be good. Like, if I had a 5K credit card, like, I would be good. I remember that conversation. I remember exactly where I was at. I was like, I saw a bunch of people online, credit gurus and such. You're getting like traveling all over the places and doing this and doing that. I'm like, bro, like all that is cool, but if I can just get a 5K credit card, I'll be able to pay off this debt, and it'll give me some space, right? That's exactly where I was at. And so I remember, I actually still have this card. It's a $500 Capital One card. My relationship with Capital One is a love-hate. I'm only keeping that card right now because it's like one of my oldest cards. So for age of credit, that card is really, really good, but it has absolutely no use besides that. As soon as the rest of my cards really, really age, I'm going to discontinue that card. Okay, so maybe that's your first tip right there. Okay, do not just close all your credit cards. All right, why? Because age of accounts is a really big deal. Okay, age of accounts is a big deal. Okay, so the first things is pull up your credit report, see exactly what's happening on your credit report. We have to tackle this thing. We have to like tackle it face on. Okay, we have to tackle it face on and see it for what it is. It's not this giant thing that we cannot read or adopt or learn to read. I remember the first time I always avoided it. I was like, I don't want to read all this. Like, this stuff is like, it looks heavy and daunting, but it's really not. It's just numbers and figures once we understand the basics. Okay, I think this is the only reason I like Credit Karma. It makes something so big and all of these numbers and reports, just breaks it down into like 7 main categories for us to take a look at. Okay, all right, so I took a look at my credit report. My goal was just to get a 5K credit card. Okay, and once I took a look at my report, I said, okay, cool. How can I then structure my credit card, not my credit card, how can I structure my credit report so that I can match these other guys who are getting 10K, 20K cards and flying all over the world like for free and stuff? How can I get something similar? Once I took a look at my credit report, I then I actually got a course. Okay, and in the course it showed me like how to like structure my credit profile and stuff. Okay, so I got some education. That's another thing, just being honest. I got some education as to like what that looked like. This is not like, I did not come up with this. I'm not that deep. I'm just being real with you guys. Okay, so I got some education around that on what my profile should actually look like. Okay, cool. So I pulled my report. I got what my profile is, and I got what my profile should look like, okay, then I started working towards it. All right. One of the main things that I did right away was I cleaned up my report. Okay, I removed negative items of my report. This took a minute. Okay, I removed the negative items of my report. There was one major one with a credit union in which was just took forever in order to get off, right? And it was from like years ago. Okay, it was from like years ago. But the guy was like, dude, you don't want any recent derogatories in the last 2 years, point blank, period. Right? When bankers and when the algorithm are really looking at your credit report, if you have 0 derogatories in the last 2 years, you have a huge check mark. Huge check mark. So 0 derogatories in the last 2 years. That's what you want to definitely look at on your payment history. Okay. Also, the next thing you want to take a look at at the time of funding. Okay, at the time of funding, when you hit submit for that application, at the time of funding, your utilization on all your cards and individually should be from 0 to 10%. Okay, 0 to 10%. That should be the max on your credit card utilization. Okay, derogatories on your report should be 0. No derogatories whatsoever. No late payments, nothing in collections, none of that. None of that. Okay, and then your inquiries in the last 24 months. Typically, anything over in the last 6 months, it doesn't take much of a hit, okay? But 0 to 1 inquiries in the last 24 months, and then recent accounts, so account age, recent accounts. If you haven't opened any accounts in the last 6 months, preferably in the last year or 2 years, huge check mark right there, huge check mark. Okay, so now once all of that is done. So this is actually what I did. Okay, I just gave you guys the blueprint. That cost me like $5K to get that course. Okay, that's the blueprint. That's the main things that I got out of there. Okay, how to structure my profile. All right, now the next thing on there, after I did all of this, you guys, guess what happened? I didn't get automatic approvals. I was so pissed. I was really, really pissed. Okay, I didn't get automatic approvals. However, why didn't I get automatic approvals? Because I went for the top tier cards. Okay, that's something in which I'm going to I teach in the course. Okay, shameless plug on the tiers of cards. I did not know this was a thing. This thing is like it's so deep. No one really like teaches it and makes it really, really simple. Anyway, I went for the top tier cards. I'm talking about prestige, I'm talking about like the top cards, which require like a very solid credit. They were not starter cards. My credit profile at that time was a starter profile, okay? And I went for the prestige cards. And so I got denied. And so I had to start all over, okay? And clean up my credit again, which at that time I kind of understood the process, so it wasn't as bad. So what I would then suggest from my failure then is to go to starter credit cards. Okay, go to starter credit cards. Okay, that would be the next thing which I'll do there. Go to starter credit cards, and it's okay to go from 0 to 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 10s, and then watch those limits start 2xing and 3xing. It's okay to climb the ladder. Okay, now there are cheat codes here and there, but just climb the ladder. You find out the cheat code, you still have to wait for XYZ to happen, and then if you just did it the regular way in the first place, you would have been fine. Okay, so go to the starter credit cards. Okay, they're really good starter credit cards. Oops. All right, so this was shaking a little bit. Let's get it back in motion. And boom. Okay, cool. I'm keeping that in the video. All right. So after what I've done different is go to starter credit cards. Okay. Now, okay, Marco, list of starter credit cards. People don't say the Apple credit card is a starter credit card, but I actually really, really like the Apple credit card. Why? Because it's a soft pull pre-approval credit card. They are the Discovers. Okay, Discover credit cards. Apple, there's a list in which I'm going to have I'm going to have inside of either the group or the course, like there's a bunch of starter credit cards. Okay, another hack for starter credit cards is go with who you're banking with right now. Whoever you're banking with is, if it's a solid bank, just go on their website, okay, and see if they have starter credit cards. Secured credit cards. Listen, if you have like 500 or $1,000 to start with a secured credit card, do that, and also go to credit unions. Okay, go to credit unions. They also have really good starter credit cards. Okay, now in 3 to 6 months, you realize those secured credit cards can unsecure and then build from there. So at that point, I had this Capital One credit card, which I told you about in earlier the video. So I didn't necessarily need more starter credit cards. What I had to do then was, I'll tell you what I did. What I did then was I built relationships. Okay, I built banking relationships. How I got this 10K credit card from going from like, it was really like a 300, and then I went from a 300, and then I got an Apple, which was like 2,500, and then I got like a 10K, which was a Chase. Okay, what I did was open a Chase bank account. Okay, I had some money, and so I just put 5K in the bank account. Everyone else denied me. Okay, by the way, when I did that sequence in which I got denied, everyone else denied me except Chase. It said pending approval, and guess what happened? I got a 10K card. How did I get a 10K card? What I realized was I had 5K sitting in that account for like 3 months before I actually ran. Was it 3 months? Maybe like 2 months before I actually ran the sequence. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure on the time frame. Between 1 to 3 months was when that money was sitting in that account. Okay, and while everyone, the cities, the Barclays, like all the top guys, right, they all denied me. He was like, hey, blah 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 blah. And I just randomly saw a card in the mail, and I opened it and I saw my limit. And I was like, what? Like, oh my gosh, I officially have a 10K card, right? Like my first double digits in credit limits. I was super excited. I was elated, and I was like, oh, okay, I reverse engineered that. Okay, cool. What happened there? What simply happened was I had built an internal relationship with them. They had seen that, okay, this person opened an account with us. They deposited a good amount of money. Okay, cool. When their underwriters take a look at this, one, they already have my data. I'm already in their system. Number two, I have good money in which they can, obviously they're making money off of, right? Which they're trading on. And what they did was just 2x my credit, what I have in there, my deposit to my credit limit. That's really all they did, okay? And I was like, wow. Just imagine if you built all the solid relationships with all these banks. Obviously, not everyone just has 5K sitting around. But if you do, okay, you can just borrow it and like, hey, I'll pay you right back in like 30 days or something, right? I'm not even going to use it. I just needed to show something and you could pull it right back out. Just imagine if you did that. So, boom, there's the play. And that's what happened for me. And I actually noticed this is actually how they like to lend. They don't like to just lend to any Joe Blow off the street. If you already have an internal relationship with them, your chances go sky high. Guys, I'm telling you, guys who are not even as strong as Chase's or as strict as Chase's algorithms were denying me, right? So now I'm like, the only differentiating factor was in the system. I had money in there. So build those banking relationships. It doesn't have to be that high, by the way. It does not have to be that high. Just the fact that you're in the system, you have an okay credit score, and you have those checklists in which I went over in the beginning of the video in play, you'll be golden. So leave a comment if you found value in this video, and I would see you guys on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.